Hey YouTube, this is Jimmy up here on the mountain, hanging around with my friends, looking at these ancient serpent people, the giants among them. This sort of looks like the man on the mountain in New Hampshire. This guy is a serpent giant. Well, whatever it is, it has a characteristic of the serpent, the body, or the earth, the portrait. It all means something. And that's his face right there. The portrait of a giant. And I say giant because there's many legends of giants walking the land around here, and skeletons being found that are 8.5 feet. Okay. Linda Ronstadt. There's another portrait right there. He's disguised as a sheep or a serpent. I'm telling you. Buffalo right there. And you can almost see that its head's down and its mouth is open, like this one. He's got the hump on the back like that one. Different type of stone, but the horn on the head. And it looks to me like the head's down and the mouth is here, just like this one. And this is a little tiny stone, but it's important. It came from the red ochre mound that's here, which has burials on it. And it has a portrait of looks like a polar bear, a white bear looking up. And the red ochre mounds, they put these small pieces of stone, like this, discs. Some of them had carvings on them. And it's interesting because it's looking up. And a lot of the other stones have portraits of animals looking up on them. But we also find portraits like this carved in stone. This type of person that have snakes on their heads and snakes on their backs and bears, and with a whole culture. They lived a long time. They had a history. And they created art when they were here. They saw animals that don't live here anymore, and they carved them. But the symbols tell stories, like the looking up of the portraits. They tell stories. And when you look at modern art like this, you can see that the portrait has the same looking up. Towards something. Here it's the moon. And here, I think it was the sun. They carved suns in a lot of their petroglyphs. And when you take the stones out in the sun, they're different. The colors, you see things in them that you didn't see before. But you take them in at night from outside and they're cloudy and they're cold. And they change color, some of them. They made them out of all different stones. And this is a green stone. So the smallest things can be some of those important. Some of them. It's very interesting. I guess you could have a standoff between the two. And then you have other stones. This stone, it's a larger one, but it's a representation of a person, just like this. And the shape of it, it was used as some type of tool. There's another smaller one. They put representations in their stones, in their tools. This is the exact same shape. And it seems to me like this was a piece of jewelry. I find real small ones, a lot of them, that look like jewelry to me. These just happen to be big ones. And this one just happened to remind me of a portrait, because of the long white headdress, which it would have looked like to them too, I think. I don't see a portrait in there, but it does look similar. But the looking up is important. Just the representation of looking up, which is all I meant to show in this video. And this looks like a frog to me. The quartz, the way it looks is similar to, it looks like he's wearing a sheep cap. His whole hair, his head, his beard. And that's a representation of a portrait. And they would have these coming out of animals and representations of animals, and a lot of amphibians, a lot of frogs. And we saw that with the turtles. They represent coming between the two worlds, the surface of the water. For some reason, it was very important to these people in their minds, and they left images that were important. From the ancient to the not so ancient. Thank you for watching. This is Jimmy, the Paleo Mountain Man on the Mountain.